Welcome back. I'm Nigerian journalist Kemi Omololu, and this is Surviving Davido, Part 3, January 15th, 2019. In Chapter 1 and 2, we talked about the life Veronica Imadi Adeleke lived, the life her son lived, and how things became twisted along the way. Coincidences in life and people he didn't know in his past. Now I'm going to tell you exactly how she died. I'm going to cheer, and I'm going to try and fight back those tears. I've had people contact me in the last few days saying, oh, you didn't know her. You don't know anything about her. Well, you don't know that. To know Veronica's friends was to be in America where she lived, or to be in Nigeria. But her Nigerian friends may not have known her American friends. And the American friends don't know the Nigerian friends. I didn't know any of her Nigerian friends. All I knew was she took her baby and they went back home. There was oil flowing and her husband didn't want to leave that kind of money. But when they got to Nigeria, Veronica had problems. We'll call each other on the phone and Vero she was 39 years old. I was also 39. I was getting ready to have my 40th birthday in a couple of months. Pretty much about a year's time, but I was planning it early. Everybody was looking forward to that year where they turned 40. 1964 people, 2004, you're going to turn 40. The sad part is that Veronica will never turn 40. She would never have that birthday. I started sensing sadness. Vero was wrong. Veronica will call me and ask me questions about tablets, pills, tablets. I would say, what are you doing with that? Veronica Adeleke will list things that she bought in the supermarket or the chemist or wherever. She was taking diazepam, Valium. And Valium was the drug of choice for anxiety in those days, and still now. You didn't need a prescription. Today you do. Maybe the doctor will tell her, go pick up diazepam. Right in a piece of paper, she just goes and picks it up. It's very addictive, and I'm a pharmacist, among other things. Vero will take it. If you take an anxiety medicine like Valium, you'll get hooked to it and you'll just like taking it and you'll be drowsy and blah, blah, blah. I took it in my lifetime. I used a few, maybe 5 tablets at a time. I never bought more than 5 tablets at a time because if you have 40 tablets in that bottle, you might want to take another one. Da, 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 da. She was hooked on the diazepam. 2:00 in the morning, right after New Year's Day in 2003, 2 a.m. in the morning, our 2 a.m. in America, 7:30 a.m. in Nigeria, Veronica called me to ask me the name of a tablet, trihexylphenidol. I don't like pronouncing drug names, even though I'm a pharmacist. Artane. Artane is what they call a upper, and it also has the characteristics of a downer. Let me explain that to you. There's some classes of drugs called uppers or downers. If you Google it, uppers are mostly benzodiazepines. You can't understand this language. Uppers are drugs like Valium. They're for anxiety, but they'll get you high. You'll be high. You'll be on top of the world. You'll be alert. Downers are the drugs that'll calm you down if you have a manic episode. Manic depression is also called bipolar. People that scream, yell, get mad, fight. Oh, she had both. She said she will fight Deji Adeleke, her husband, just to go out. Vero said she couldn't get her hair done. She couldn't get her nails done. Everybody came into the house. Now that was when I knew there was trouble in paradise. When you have money, you do that. I don't want to mention names here, But I'm going to tell you there's an old man in Lagos who is a big businessman, married to a beautiful young lady. Okay? And that beautiful young lady had kids for him and everything. And this girl is always seen in hand with Baba at every party. You know who I'm talking about? She cannot go out alone. Baba wouldn't let her go alone. This famous couple that I'm talking about. And I heard that sometimes the lady will be sad. That's the same thing Vero went through. She was telling me how sad she was that Deji wouldn't let her go out, that Deji sheltered her. The life that I want to live, husband, go to work, me, lie down in front of my internet and TV and eating anything and everything. Some of us want that life, but Veronica didn't want that life. So the life of living in an apartment in Atlanta, going out, meeting neighbors on the streets like me, and doing all the stuff you got to do instead of being sheltered, to a life of we're living in a mansion, we have kids, we have this, we have that. I can't go get my hair done. Veronica Adeleke had a talent called music. She formed her own band. You know what I mean? Dun, 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 piano, piano. She formed a record label. In those days, small record label, a band, and they'll go perform at places. She'll follow them. She'll sing a few. In a way, I thought that band was to get her out of the house. She wanted her freedom. She was not given her freedom. She was a beautiful woman. Deji didn't want anyone looking at her out there. Deji and I are mates. At the end of the day, she begged Deji. I said begged. Those of you saying that I'm doing this to hurt Davido, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do what? I became a journalist after all this, and I'm doing a documentary. I can do this about anybody. And if it means I'm outing them, so be it. I'm trying to fight back tears because she told me this in my sleep to tell the story. Veronica finally begged Deji to let her get a job outside the house. Not just a band that would go out to play on Saturdays or Sundays or at a beer parlor or at a club, but a job, anything that made Veronica go out of that house. The house was like a prison. So she took a job at Babcock University as a teacher. What they call teachers over there? Lecturers. She became a lecturer in Babcock. She'll go to Babcock. At that time, Deji didn't have Adeleke University yet. It was to build that later. Deji has massive amounts of money. This is why I said there's a curse in the Adeleke family that they don't want to support a little girl that's their blood. Vero was working at Babcock. Her life was restricted with the band and inside the house. One thing I can tell you is that she never said Deji touched her and beat her up or any of that domestic violence. Maybe it happened and she didn't tell me, but Veronica will tell me everything. She never told me any of that sort. Because I knew deep down in myself that Deji Adeleke loved Veronica. The love was an obsession. It was an obsession that even when his friends came into the house, Vero was in her room or in another room. It was a mansion. She wouldn't even tell Vero that, oh, my buddies are here, because she didn't want her buddies looking at Vero. Not the slightest, oh, Mama Davido or Mama Wale or Mama whatever. You look good. He didn't want that. Wale was possessive of Veronica. I said, Wale, Deji was possessive of Veronica. Wale is Davido's older one, the fat one, dark skin, HKN, chairman. Very dumb. Says everybody rich got an oil block. Gotta tell you that he was possessive of his wife. He was very possessive. I know Davido's watching this right now because I've been told. Yesterday, his daughter went to school for the first time. Anu Oluwapo Mitchell Adeleke. I paid her school fees. along with 5 of my fans that donated to it. Everything was paid, uniform, supplies. This week, I'm taking her to my bank. At 5 years old, I opened an account with First Bank of Nigeria, Standard Bank of Nigeria, 1969, on my 5th birthday. This year, I'll be 55. On my 50th birthday in 2014, I celebrated my 45th anniversary at First Bank. It was great. Cake, everything. Remember, it was also my 50th birthday. This year, my 55th birthday will be the 50th anniversary banking at First Bank. And I told the chairman of First Bank we're going to celebrate this together because First Bank itself is 125 years old this year. Isn't that great? And I said that to give an example of something. Anolu Akpo, Davido's first child, she's 5 years old. I did her 5th birthday. I did that birthday so she can remember. An iconic birthday. There were no kids there, just us. I did a red carpet with the Mr. Biggs background. Mr. Biggs gave her a free cake. They prepared. We had fun. Because one day she could say, that woman helped me. I carried him and I carried you. How come she was born on the day Vero went into labor with David? At the end of the day, they could have been born on the same day. Philip Ephraim is here, one of my best fans. Philip, thanks for contributing to my medical fund and all those funds in the last year. Those of you watching me on YouTube here, YouTube channels always ask you to donate $20. All those nice American entertainment channels. I've not seen YouTube donations, but 2 or 3 people here. There's 10,000 of you here. But am I surprised? This Wi-Fi modem has been on since 12:30 a.m. This is the 13th hour that I'm working. I went from 17 gigs to 9 gigs. I worked overnight. I haven't slept. Since 12:30 a.m. At 8 o'clock, I took a shower, brushed, ate breakfast, and I came straight back to work when I was supposed to sleep. Some people are begging me for Davido. Please don't do that. I'm doing my work. Forget all that apology. Churches are coming in my inbox. Celebrities are coming. Everybody's coming, begging on your behalf. This is why Nigeria is fucked up. How can you be coming and begging Davido on his behalf? Who are you? Do you know him? Do you live what he lived? Do you live what I lived? You don't beg people for anybody. You tell them to go and apologize. I heard Deji call my father. If I will forgive Davido, he'd be lying down here prostrated in front of me. And then he'll take a DNA test for that little girl. I don't need that. I'm past that. I'm speaking out my frustration. Some people are like, oh, please, if you love his mother, you wouldn't do this. Do what? I'm telling the story. I want to tell him his history, who he is. You're telling me to go oil my pussy. You're calling me weary. I want to tell you who that weary is. His father sheltered his mother so much. She called me and said, I feel like killing myself. Oh, God. You're in America, somebody's in Nigeria. They said, I feel like killing myself. The last time I said, I feel like killing myself, do you know what happened to me? The Child Protective Services took my kids away for the night because they thought I was suicidal. That's what they do in America. In Davido's mom's case, I was over the Atlantic, 10,000 miles away. There's nothing I could do. I called her the next day, the day after. Where are you? Okay. Where are you? Fine. Where are you? No signs of it. The birthday happened. And Vero went missing. Veronica was in the room. Have you ever had a party in your house, an event, a wedding, an owambe in your house in the compound before the halls came? And you, the celebrant, was running around serving food and everything, and you forgot to eat. You forgot to save your own jollof rice. You forgot to save your own Coke. Everything finished at the end of the day. That's what I do when I'm having something. Put our own stuff away first. That was not the case here. The case here was that you came from church after Thanksgiving. Everyone went to change and you come out and celebrate and socialize with your guests. Nobody even noticed that Vero was not around. Where's Vero? They go inside the room they felt she was in. It was locked. Vero was inside that room. One of the servants said she was inside that room. She locked herself in the room. It's a room with a bed and everything, a bedroom and all. Will you lock yourself in your room? In Nigeria, yes. There's my door. I lock my door, partly because I'm doing a lot of recordings and I just don't want anyone knocking it or coming barging through the door. If KJ comes up here, he WhatsApp me upstairs, Mom, I need to come up. So it kind of was not unusual to have Veronica lock that door. They couldn't find her anywhere, so they had to break the door down. Veronica Adeleke was found on the ground, lifeless, no pulse, nothing. She had died a long time ago. Did she collapse? Why did Deji and family tell Davido that she was poisoned? She ate something bad and she became sick and collapsed. When I say poison, I'm not talking about juju in her food. Poison like she ate something bad, food poisoning, salad that was too hot outside. At the end of the day, that's what they told him. They never told him that she died of a cocaine overdose. There was cocaine right next to her. She had inhaled a lot of it. Suicidal dose. And she had Artane and Valium in her system. Things you will never know. Only the doctors and the autopsies will know. And of course, people like me. Remember IBB? Remember his relationship with Deji? IBB knows what killed Deji's wife. Remember my dad and IBB? From there to there, from my dad to me, the rest is history. Who's this fool saying I'll go back to jail if I don't leave the video alone? Why would I go back to jail? Who needs to hear that crap? Davido doesn't need to apologize for insulting me. It's too late. He insulted me twice. Three times, actually. He said I use cheap drugs. I'm going to respond to that tweet today. Some will say I hurt him. If I use cheap drug, his mother used expensive drugs and died of it. I know that tweet, and I know where it is. Who gave her cocaine? Veronica had pills. I was a pharmacist. She will call me about what she's taken. I will ask her, who gave you this? But then when she said her condition, it was appropriate. Someone going through depression, anxiety, sheltered. But it came to a point, I don't know who gave her cocaine. I think I know who gave her cocaine, but I can't confirm or deny that. In Nigeria, some of our people are using cocaine in the house, rich and even poor. In those days, coke was in every house in Nigeria. Not my house, but those boys with oil and gas. I'm not saying Deji had coke. I can't confirm or deny it, but that's what they had their recreation with, all these oil boys in those days. And they took $100 bill, put weed inside and rolled it and smoked it. Abacha's children started that. They smoked in $100 bill. The Illuminati was definitely around. At the end of the day, she had access to cocaine. She snorted it and she died. And that's what they call a rush. I'm saying this from the experience of being a pharmacist. Veronica's autopsy was never announced to the public, to the media, to the children. To the children, I can understand perfectly well. To the children, I can understand perfectly well. but they're not children anymore. They're now adults, and I'm very sorry, or am I, that they will have to hear it directly from me. Aside from the fact that I know everything that happened, being a journalist is a plus. To be able to bring it back. Somebody said something about my memory. I have an IQ of 207. My memory is, you can't beat it. We buried Veronica Adeleke. In the future, 2 of her granddaughters will be called Veronica, Haley, and the other one, Imadi. Davido never talks about his mom. Davido never talks about his mom. Davido never talks about his mom. Davido never talked about his mom. Davido never talked about his mom. I said that 5 times. Why? Because he was programmed completely not to remember her. Deji never told people what killed his wife. The rumor out there was kept as a rumor. She was poisoned at a party where she went to eat. They told the kids, oh, she had something at this party. There is no March 6, 2003 that Veronica Adeleke is not remembered because it's also Deji Adeleke's birthday. There's some liars and some ages on the internet that's wrong about Deji Adeleke in his 60s. That's not true. It's fake. He's my mate. After she was buried, the kids were sheltered away. Who wouldn't be? A 10-year-old? Look at what Didi's daughters is going through now when Kim Porter died. It takes a village to raise a child. I've never believed in that. It takes you to raise your child. However, a village, when things like that happen, every one of Kim's friends is participating in the lives of Delilah and Jesse. Even Chance is out there, the stepsister. The death of Veronica Adeleke hurt me so much. I was part of her life. She had a beautiful band. They played at her funeral. I wish I could do more to prevent her. When she said, I feel like killing myself. Now that Davido and his siblings now know what killed their mom, how do they feel as adults knowing that? From what I heard, they're not too happy at their father. It took all this to bring all this out. Who is that commenting about violating the privacy of the dead? The dead has no privacy. Come on. Some of you are so illiterate and so foolish. It's because you grew up in Nigeria. We people abroad are better than you. I'll continue saying it. People that grew up abroad are better than people that grew up in Nigeria. Your mentality is shallow and low. Madam, don't you think you're violating the privacy of the dead? The dead is a skeleton. They have no privacy. Shut up. Go sue me and get the dead out of the casket. You think there's a reason why I'm standing in front of a camera here? It's called slander if I say the wrong thing. Slander is spoken. Defamation is written. I'm not writing anything. I'm going to face you. You're going to see my face. Simple. Adiyemo, somebody says, forgive him when he accepts his daughter. That's not my business. Accepting his daughter is his business. My own business was to put the girl out there, okay, and put the mother out there and let them tell their story. And when they're done telling them story, let's see what happens. He responded. He said it's a dead issue. I'm going to post Davido screenshots from the inbox of my client, Ayo, asking for the girl. And another screenshot asking for the paternity test. This is Surviving Davido Part 3. Stand by. Part 4 is coming on. In Part 4 of Surviving Davido, we're going to talk about attack on people, on journalists. It'll be a short one. Stand by. I'm Kemi Amalulu, lawyer, Nigerian journalist. Surviving Davido.